Well, hello, my fellow string picking guys and gals. Welcome back to the String Pickers channel here at Obscene Studios. Today, part 4 of the double neck Basui guitar. Today, we are going to do a string bar install on the bass side, and we're going to do final thoughts. We're going to talk about the pros and the cons. We're going to talk about what I like, what I dislike about this guitar, and just how amazing this thing is to play. Number one, of course, that's a pro. Everybody knows that. Uh, well, I'm going to put it on the bench. And we are going to do the install. I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm not a professional. I've done a lot of this stuff myself to all of my guitars here at home. So I always take what I do, what I say with a grain of salt. I'm not a professional by any means. I do not claim to be. I just know from years and years of experience. I'm 50 years old. I've been into music since I was 10. So a lot of this stuff I'm completely self-taught on a lot that you see here on this channel. And I'm sure there will be some of you tell me better ways to do it. You know, that's fine. That's what the comment section is for. I'm open to constructive criticism. I'm open to any hints that you can help me with. But this is just a little something that I decided to do because I've got a bad problem. After I put the flat wound strings on the bass side, my A string keeps sliding out of the nut. If you pluck that A string and you're not holding down the note, it comes right out of the nut. I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. Also, it's just an aggravation, really. I started to go with string trees, and then I thought, you know what? If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. I'm just going to put a string bar on it. And so I ordered one. It came in. Been a bit under the weather lately. Really haven't had a chance to mess with it a whole lot. But it came in a couple of days ago. Today, I kind of felt better. So I decided, hey, why not? I'm just going to put this thing on the bench today and going to show you guys a little something. If you're like me and you're broke as a joke and you can't afford to just drop your guitar off at a luthier somewhere or some guitar tech and have them to work on it for you, just a little something you can do to kind of you know help you at home with your instruments. uh, like I said, take all this with a grain of salt. This is just how I do stuff here at the Obscene Studio. Uh, we follow our own rules, not everybody else's. So you guys just stick around for the video. Going to do a little demo. Plus, by the way, if you want to get straight to the demo, I've got timestamps at the bottom, the chapters. So you can go to what you want to look at. You can look at the install, the string tree install, things that I talk about, pros, cons, stuff like that. If you want to skip to those sections, I would like to ask you to like, subscribe if you want to. No, forcing people to do this. I'm not going to clickbait any of you into doing this. Just wanted to say if you like the content, just boop, little clickety click, 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 and then you're done. So let's get to it. Let's put this thing on the bench and get rolling. Hang on. Okay, guys, here we are on the bench. Sorry about the mess. This is the bass side to the Basui. I found a name on here that said Rich, but we call it Crip. Of course, last video I told you that this neck had completely broke off and I had to resand the pocket and the neck and put some tight bond on it. So this thing is not going anywhere now. Today we have from Music Lily. We ordered the string bar, and when it come in, I immediately noticed that
as high as these set up, that these little tiny screws right here are not going to be what we're going to use for this. I do have, once I seen them in the package, I had two other screws that were a bit longer that we're going to use. And it comes with a guitar pick and of course the string bar. So let me show you while I'm getting this out of the bag here. Let's put this away down here and see these are not going to cut it. As thick as these bass strings are, what's going to happen is the tension from this is just going to pull them right out. And the problem is that the A string and the, well, I've done shookins around a little, I apologize for that. The A string and the D string right here are both out here, and since the headstock can't be tilted because of this neck down here, these ride high on the nut. And so we've got two more screws that we're going to use for the string bar, and this is a string bar. And what we're going to end up having to do is we're going to end up having to put this somewhere around in here, and then just going straight down with it there. It doesn't need to go down far, just far enough to keep it in the nut. And here is the problem. Watch this A string right here. This is the problem. This is plucking the string open, note with no notes, just open. You see that? See, now the problem with this is that, and I probably could file the sides of that and get that, but the problem's still going to be the fact that there'll be some ring out probably up here. I'm not sure about bass ring out as much as I know about guitar ring out. That's the reason why I have a dampener on this side. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put the string bar on, and we're just going to have it mashed down just enough to keep that from sliding out. So I got some longer screws and we got the string bar. So let's get this thing ready for install, and then see if we can't help this thing out a little. These screws are not, they're just a hair bit bigger, the threads, And so because of that, that is in their countersunk. So that is going to be maybe an eyesore for something, but now this is not a let's fix it professional channel. This is a let's make it work for us channel. So what we're going to do is we're going to end up putting it about right here. I am probably going to tap these real quick so we can get an indent to where the screws are going to go in, and then we're going to make sure that it is not going to go through the neck, which I do not think it will, because once you put it even with the strings, no, it's not going to go through the headstock, not the neck, the headstock. So what we're going to do is we are going to hold these right here, make sure that every string is going to be under it, and we're going to do a little tap there, and a little tap there. And what that's going to do is that's going to give two little indentions down here so that we will be able to take our drill and drill some little pilot holes, because the last thing you want to do is to start driving screws in this and it start pulling pieces of wood up around it. Pilot holes are usually the way to go, and you don't have to go that deep. I'm thinking that maybe about this deep for each screw, and that's going to be enough to hold those strings down. So let me grab a drill in a bit. I will return and we will start knocking this out. Okay, we have our hole drilled. Sorry, I got sidetracked. I was going to show you how we come about doing that, or the actual drilling, but that's okay. Everyone knows when you drill a hole, especially through something like this, you need to tape off your bit so you know that you know not to go deeper than that. But we got it drilled, so right now we're going to put our string bar in. Now this string bar, always make sure to put these on correctly. There's a flat side and a round side. The round side goes down. You don't want your strings binding up once they go under this. You don't want them to bind up on the bar itself. You want it to roll under it smoothly. Okay, now we have that side down just a little bit more. Let's bring this side down. Okay, now I know that this is probably not something that everyone does, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to break out the caliper, make sure it's at the same depth. Of course, on both sides it might be a little off, but most of the time on your thicker string side, some of them may be up a little. I've never seen any of them up a little, but let's see what our depth is on this side. Let's see. All right, we're looking at 9.2 millimeters, and .6 millimeters, so that will work for me. That's where I'm going to leave it at. Of course, that low B string is a whole lot thicker than that G string is, so that's where we're going to leave it. And let's tune this bad boy back up and see if we can get rid of my headlamp here. Tune this bad boy up real quick and see if we have the same problem. That way, if we do, we can adjust. But it didn't need it to be down too far. Just enough to keep that A string from coming out. And that's what we needed. It's pretty level right now. Now I do not recommend this for all basses. And I do not recommend everybody do it the same way I did. You guys may have a different method. Let me hold this up so y'all can see. May have a different method than I've got. But as far as with me, the whole reason why the string tree thing didn't work is because I could use it here and here, but then I thought I may have a problem with this string here and here, and they sent really, really short screws with the string trees. So instead of just using the string trees, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to use the bar and be done with it. And the bar will work. It will hold all of them down, keep them all from, because I know what my luck is like. I don't know about yours. But my luck, I would have put those string trees in, and then other strings would have started trying to pop out. So I decided, why not kill two birds with one stone, or actually 5 birds with one stone, and as it's a 5-string bass. And we'll just take care of all of it by putting a string bar across everything. So that's what we did. And the strings are gliding real good under that bar. I was actually, when I ordered this, they didn't show you, Music Lily didn't put up, or Amazon, either one, did not show you that it had a rounded bottom, a U-shaped bottom. I was scared to death that they was going to send me a flat bar, and then I would have been up a creek without a paddle, which probably would have worked. But I just know that when it comes to tuning, that would mess with it, it would bind. Let's see if I'm harmonic. See, we need to come down to this back. There's A. To B. Now I do want to say this, and I know these things cost a lot, but I do want to say this. This tuner is the absolute best purchase I've ever made as far as tuners. If you ever get a chance to get a Polytune tuner, either the pedal or the clip-on, I've got the clip-on, of course. These things are amazing. They have a bunch of different modes. You can strum all strings at the same time, and they pick up vibration and allow you to tune through vibration. If you have a 7-string guitar, most of the time those don't, a regular tuner, clip-on, or whatever doesn't help because they don't recognize anything, real low frequency. At most, they'll probably do this string, but the rest of them, it wouldn't really pick it up all that great. I've run into tuners like that. I'm not saying all of them are like that, but I did buy this one from Guitar Center years and years ago when I had a 7 and an 8-string guitar. I bought this one. It was like $75. I could not believe he was going to pay that much for this, but I'm telling you, that was like 12 years ago, and this thing is rocking and rolling still. Tune all of my instruments with it. It's real good to go. So, all right, let's do a little open A string test. Look at there. Not coming out of the nut. I'd call that a win, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. I'll call that a win any day of the week. Okay, you guys seen it from the top. I'm going to show it from the side now. See, that's all I needed, was just that much to hold it down. Now, if this was a regular guitar, you would have been okay with the 2 little screws that come with it. I just had to have longer screws because those strings are thicker and they're riding so high. But that takes care of the problem. We don't have to worry about the A string popping out anymore. And we got it back behind here, which is where it needed to be, because it doesn't make much sense to put them out there. But I think that it's good to go. My old buddy Crip here is ready to go. Let's do some little bit of plucking and a little bit of final thoughts.
Well, folks, that is the finale of, well, not necessarily the finale. I'm sure this will make some entrances and the other videos that I do have played this quite a bit. String bar isn't moved, got the screws deep enough. The strings are down far enough to where nothing, I have beat the soup out of that A string there, and it is not moving. None of them are. So that was a welcome addition. Have showed you that uh, before in another video. I don't think I showed it actually happening, but I did put string trees on this side because of the longer strings here. Now, none of these were coming out at all, but I did want to kind of tie them down just a little bit. So I went ahead and put those in. Didn't really need it, but just thought it would help out in case problems were to arise in the future. So my final thoughts is this guitar is just bad to the bone. I mean, this thing, a 5 string fretless on one side and a 7 string on the other. This guitar right here, I do want to in the future, and I'll probably do a video on it. I would love to find some either Fishman Fluences or Seymour Duncan's, something. I want to replace these two pickups. I don't want to get rid of these pickups because they sound great, but I do want to put something in there just a little bit hotter than 12K. This one is great, sounds great when you turn it on. It's got really good clean tones. So it is definitely uh, an amazing instrument. Now, this may not be everyone's cup of tea. I never thought it would be mine, uh, but I'm having a blast with this thing. I mean, the only drawback, okay, let's get to the pros and the cons. The pros is it was free. That's the number one pro is it was free. Otherwise, I would have probably never bought this guitar. I would have been like, no, that don't work for me. But it was free. It was gifted to me for putting in a lot of work, doing songs and posting them to a group on Facebook. Um, that was number one number one pro. The number two pro is that just the versatility of this instrument. I've never played a 5 string fretless in my life. You could probably tell that. I'm still getting used to that. It's going to be a lot to learn. Uh, Never did. I've just done what research I've done and then just kind of improvised what you heard just a minute ago. That was a little bluesy riff in A minor. Uh, but the versatility is amazing. Uh, Another pro for me is that no toggle switch. You can blend your pickups ever how you want. You can turn them both up. You can turn them both down, one all the way up, one halfway up, the vice versa. You can blend them ever how you want to get that good tone. I really like that about this instrument. Another pro to this instrument is it's got a great sound. I mean, it really does. Not crazy about the body shape, but it sets good. So yeah, and it's just a great. It was a fun instrument to work on and do a series with. The cons. Okay, the cons were should have come with a string bar. Uh, Never knew that I would have a problem out of the flat wounds sliding out. Of course, that may not be a con at all, but to me, it is. I didn't have that problem with the round wound, just these flat wound strings, but the flat wound strings sound so much better. Number two con was the initial setup of the instrument. Had to clean and polish every one of the frets, had to oil both fretboards. Uh, Another con is, and I said before, it wasn't really a con. It teaches me really to use my hand when I'm fretting like this, as opposed to like I kind of taught myself to do over the years. So that's kind of helping me. It's not really hurting me. So that doesn't even really count for a con. Another con is neck dive. This thing has a lot of neck dive. Not on this side as much as the bass side, because on the guitar side, you have this horn down here that kind of braces on your leg. When you flip it over to the bass side, you've only got this much. That's why there's a strap on the bass side. Another con, 11 pounds. You're not going to gig with this. If you do, it better be a short show, or you better have other guitars to swap to, because this thing will wear you out. I'm a big guy. Uh, I can handle quite a bit, but I just don't know about standing on my feet with an 11-pound guitar for a long period of time. Most of the time, that's why my videos are setting down, so I can deal with this stuff without having to be on my feet for an entire video. It's health issues. It's got to do with neuropathy, stuff like that. Uh, Other than that, I think that about wraps it up. The pros and the cons of it are, there's a whole lot more pros than cons. Uh, I really do enjoy this instrument. I'm glad that you guys have come in and you've watched these videos and you have checked out this amazing double neck guitar, the strangest double neck that I have ever played. Uh, it is definitely an amazing instrument. So I will say to you guys, if you are on Facebook, I know Ted from TED Talks Guitar and Life has joined the group Free Guitars. Uh, if you've not joined that group, go over, give it a look, see, join. I think you got to answer two questions, and one is they're basically about the rules of the group, which is simple. You have to know the name of the guitar that they give away, which is Basui, and you also have to know what the rules are. And basically, the rules are this: you have to post videos of you playing guitar, showing your face. And I've got an ugly mug, but I didn't care. I like to share my music. I play a lot of rock and metal. So go over there and check some of those guys out. There's some guys that play these instruments, that play their own instruments, that have done a really, really good job. And you need to go give that group a like or a follow. Uh, some really good players in there, and it's a lot of fun to watch in your downtime if you just happen to be scrolling Facebook or whatever. I've made a lot of good friends over there. Shout out to Justin, to Cameron, especially to Don Beckett. Shout out to Sean Neal. All of you guys, you know who you are. I've talked to a bunch of you, and you have helped me out. I've helped y'all out. And that's what that community is all about. As musicians, we need to stick together. It doesn't matter if you've been playing a week or if you've been playing for 4 decades like I have. You just need to help each other out. We're in this journey together. Music is life. Music help us to cope. And any way we can help other musicians do that, then we need to do that. I always tell the children that I used to teach, I'm not teaching you to be a rock star. I'm teaching you to cope with situations you're going to be faced with as an adult. When you have that hard day, when it's at your absolute worst, you remember two things. Number one, pray to God. Number two, just pick your guitar up and play it out. That's all you got to do. So, guys, I thank you for joining me on this journey with the Basui Doubleneck. You will see more of this guitar. I do have a guitar kit showing up today. We are going to make a series out of that one where we're going to go through from beginning to end. It's a body style that I've wanted for a long time, but I didn't pull the trigger on it because Galari makes one. But this one is a different, from a different company. Looked a little better, a little thicker body. Going to do all my paint on it myself. Going to set it up how I want it to be set up, and we're going to add it to our collection here at Obscene Studios. So, guys, I really do appreciate it. Thank you for coming in. The door's closing, so now you have to leave. See ya.